What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Puckin Around. My name is Jordan. You may know me as Shot Props. Joining me as usual, Tyson, aka Spittin' Picklets.
Here.
There you go. Very nice, very nice. And we've got a special guest today filling in for our friend Ray, Firefighter Betts, who is snowboarding in Colorado. One of the good guys in the hockey Twitter community, Hockey X community, I guess I have to say now. Franco, the banker, you know him from the Expected Bets For podcast. How's it going today?
No, I'm doing great. Just got back in time to hop on here live with you guys. So thanks for having me. I'm excited to break down this massive slate. It looks like a beauty.
It's too big. I'm too intimidated, man.
14 games.
Yeah, I don't know how you reduce a card on a day like today.
You can't. But
14
another
games.
thing that we always talk about is like if you're teetering on a play, like since there's so many games, like you don't got to force anything.
That's true. That's true. And then the regret comes in when it hits like in the first period.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But you just got to live.
Tough one. How did everybody do? How's everyone doing the past few days betting wise? How have things been going?
Yesterday was great. Pretty happy. I was teetering between Huberdeau assist and Huberdeau Kadri point. Should have gone Huberdeau assist because that hit, but Kadri didn't get a point. But I mean, had McDavid the birthday goal, I know Franco would love that one. And I think everybody in the world was on Kempe shots last night, and he came through. So, yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good last 2 days for me.
It's nice when things come through. Franco, how about you?
Decent weekend. I got my cat coming in here, trying to blow up this spot here. But yeah, so decent for Saturday and Sunday, but yesterday was a down day. Added a few plays live in the football game, and everything I added for hockey was not ideal either. My initial plays did well, but I added McDavid and Hyman point. Hyman didn't get a point. I had Huberdeau and Kadri point parlay as well. Obviously, Kadri did not get there. So a couple of frustrating ones like that. I had Bertuzzi and Bedard point parlay as well. And I saw some video footage of what looked like Bertuzzi deflecting that Bedard shot into the net. And still has not been changed yet. So I don't know if it's going to. I guess not at this point. But yeah, a little frustrating. But losing day just means today we bounce back.
Absolutely. And yeah, so we've got a lot of games to go through. 14. We're going to find some nice plays. We also want to remind everybody, if you're watching, please like, comment, subscribe. All that fun stuff helps us out. And make sure to follow our special guest, Franco, at Franco the Banker on Twitter/X. And if you have comments, plays you want to share, questions for us, drop them. We try to make it as interactive as possible. What up, Cap? Cap says, oh, Spittin' is awake. Franco may not be aware of this. Spittin' has missed more than one show, just because of we'll call it the time difference.
It's fair.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like sometimes I got to stay up late editing articles. Sometimes I don't get to bed till 2-3 in the morning. Kind of hard to come to these when I'm not getting a lot of sleep. But I'm here today. I mean, I had to show up. Franco's here, our special guest. Couldn't miss that for the world.
Absolutely. Okay, let me get my screen ready. Spittin' will get yours screen ready as well. And we'll be good to go. Okay, get this guy going. Whoa, what? My Google Sheet said there's an error. Give me a second here.
Oh, classic shots. Just kidding.
Franco, just so you know, if you need any team stats, you want a specific number, let me know. I will have year to date and recent, basically last 30 days. Spittin' is going to work props.cash for us. So if there's anybody you want to see or highlight, just let him know. And then we'll also look at lines and starting goalies if folks want to as well. Give my screen a moment and see if everyone wants to play nice. If not, it's too many games. It's breaking it. Okay.
No doubt.
Okay, let me take this offline. I will tinker. We'll come back. We got a quick question. We'll answer Ben first, and then yeah, hopefully I can get this up and working. Is the Habs game a trap? Plus 135 looks insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll obviously get to that game a bit later, but yeah, I mean, kind of seems surprising with how they're rolling lately. And I mean, Utah's not great at home, but like I said, we'll get to that. So stay tuned. It's the last game of the night, so
it opened
You're gonna
at
have to
plus
wait for it.
150 last night, by the way. So just I don't know if that changes how you feel about the number being plus 135 now, but I meant to grab it last night because I saw it and I liked it, and I did not. So I actually did pull the trigger on the plus 135 today, though.
There you go.
All right, right on.
That's a good one. Okay, give me 1 second. Seeing the issue here, and then we'll get going.
Well, we can just start. I'll pull my page up. I just had to finish doing it.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yep, no worries. All right. You can pull it up whenever, and we can just get going. Then you can work on the back end. Right on. Is this the first game you think we'll go over? Tampa Boston, just because it's top on my board.
Yeah. We'll go with whatever your list says. I'll catch up.
All right, cool. You got the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Boston Bruins. Tampa 10-9-2 on the road. Boston 12-7-3 at home. Both teams winners of one straight, but don't have the greatest last 10 record. Boston below 500. Tampa a little bit above. Head-to-head history. Tampa's taken 4 out of the last 5 matches between the two, but the under has hit in 3 straight. And I mean, these teams aren't scoring lately either. I mean, 4-6 to the over 6 for Boston and 3-7 for Tampa.
All right. And I've got some good news before we get to player props. We're back. Figured out the issue. Okay, so what's that?
You're live.
Yep. Okay, so Tampa minus 140 money line favorite on the road. Highest scoring team in the league this year at 3.68 goals for per game. Boston allowing a ton, 10th most at 3.16 goals against. In terms of shots against, which have been a little bit tough. We were talking about this last week with Walla. Shots are a little bit tough, so we've definitely been pivoting. I would say I'm no more than 50% shots on any given day. It's usually less than that. We'll ask Franco about that in a little bit. But if you're playing shots, great spots for wingers on both teams and defensemen on Boston. Speaking of Boston defensemen, Stukes is reminding us no McAvoy tonight and Coyle also out. And Ray's Texas says, geeky shots looking nice at home. All right. We will go to Spittin' for some player props, and I can get any goalie or line information if anybody wants it. Oh, Brad.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't bet this guy. Screw him. The rat fuck himself. Charlie McAvoy, I'm pretty sure he landed on IR, so he'll be out for quite a bit. Other than that, I know you said Boston defensemen are a good look, but there's really no one to bet, like defensive side. So I just immediately probably look at wingers. We had Geeky in the comments, so we'll take a look at him. Not a bad parlay piece here. Cleared 6 out of last 10, but some of these games he's going way, way over. The only worry that I would have is just coming off a 1 attempt game. Not great. Franco, anything kind of speaking to you in this matchup?
Check his splits, home road. It looks a little bit better.
Oh, there we go.
And the attempts are solid. So yeah. I don't mind that as a piece for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw. So yesterday, about at the midway point of the day, all shots on goal props tanked about 20 to 30 cents. So guys sitting in like a minus 150 went down to like minus 120. So a lot of players became bettable. I was really hoping that Geeky would be one of those. Forsling was one last night at over 1.5. He was minus 140, which you never see him at. So unfortunately, Geeky didn't meet the mark here today. He's still not really bettable straight, but decent parlay piece.
Okay, just a question, because last Thursday, I think we were with Walla, we were chatting with him, and he kind of talked about, how shots. He doesn't even bet shots anymore because it's just completely flipped. Like the lines are ridiculous for these guys' hit rates, and I mean, no one's really shooting. Under saves have been a cash cow so far this season. But I was like, well, why the hell haven't we just started betting under shots? And I tried it out on Saturday against the Devils on Braden Point because he was on the road. He's much better at home than he is on the road, 71%, whereas only 30% at home. Took him against the Devils. It was a sweat. He had to. Went to overtime, too. I was sweating buckets the whole time, but it came through. So maybe that's something I'm going to start looking into a little bit more today. Just taking some under shots, see if that pays off.
Yeah, I've been considering it, to be honest with you. I took Seth Jones under 2.5 last night in a parlay, but the other leg missed. He hit his under. So yeah, I think in the right sense, it's good. The problem is, like I said, those odds change. So literally a day ago, you were getting way better lines on the unders, and now they're going to be a little bit tanked the opposite way. So I think there's a little bit of value betting these overs if you can find the right spots. I've particularly been a negative guy towards shots in general for the last about year and a half, to be honest with you guys. Last year, I noticed the shift really start early and kind of pivoted off of it and became more of a points and goal prop better. But I've been selective with it, and I've had some success. Actually, last night I went 3-0 on shots. So I mean, if the spots are right, I'm willing to do it as long as the price is right. But yeah, I'm not. I tend to not do the chalky guys that everybody's on either. So that's maybe something that plays into it. I'm not typically grabbing the big name guys for the most part.
Yeah, that's fair. I had Owen Tippett yesterday for your Flyers, and he came through, which was nice. I mean, we've got a massive slate to break down. Shots got about an hour till 10 o'clock Pacific, so we should probably run through as quickly as possible. But I just kind of want to point this guy out, Brandon Hagel. He's pretty good on the road. He's cleared 4 out of his last 5, and on the road, 62% on the year. But what really stuck out to me was this 9-shot, 16-attempt game against the Bruins, which is right here. So it's recently, just 3 games ago, he has been shooting. If the wingers are good, a good matchup against the Bruins, he might be a good look there.
And I did not say goalie information, so it is Swayman in net for the Bruins. No information on the Tampa side.
Gotcha. And I mean, there's no one really you can play for points. I mean, maybe Cirelli. Plus money, he's decent.
Everybody else is way too juiced. Maybe a nice parlay piece.
The unders have been hitting a lot, so Hedman for -130, points in 3 straight, including the one against Boston there. But I'm ready to move on. I don't have anything.
Absolutely. Okay, we can go to the next one. Actually, real quick question. And we got Adam in the chat saying hey to Franco. What's going on, Adam? Thanks for joining us.
Wow, not me. What the fuck?
No.
Yeah, no love for you, huh? I will say the one thing I looked at here just before we move on, the Geeky brothers are going facing off against each other again. I took them last time, each for a goal. They both didn't cash. And of course, I believe Morgan scored his last game. So I might run back those two for a little sprinkle. I'm not very interested in this game overall though.
Yeah, that's not a bad look, especially if we like geeky shots as a parlay piece. I mean, you got to shoot to score. So
yep.
Yeah, and I'll just say to Adam's point, both these teams actually over the last 30 days, which is on average about 10 games per team, Boston allowing 29.5 shots against per game, which is 9th. Tampa 30.3, which is 5th. So both these teams allowing the shots, but I don't know what it means in terms of betting shots. Nobody really stood out. All right, let's go back to
Cap. You're right. Unders are lame, but it paid off.
Sweaty, but it can work.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got the Dallas Stars taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dallas, a -115 money line favorite on the road. Both these teams high scoring, both in the top 12. Both these teams good defensively, top 10 in terms of goals against. Dallas shooting a ton, 4th most shots for, and the Leafs 8th most shots against. Leafs particularly bad against wingers if you do want to bet shot props. Outside of that, Dallas getting a ton of power play points. And Adam has a fun point. Robertson brothers going up against each other. So that's a fun one. Spittin', we'll go to you for your sheet, and then I'll get some goalie information.
Right arm. Both these teams are better at home, so you're catching Dallas on the road here, 11-9 on the season, but Toronto's 17-8. Pretty good. Toronto's lost 2 straight, but Dallas is super hot right now. They're 8-1-1 over their last 10 games. But the head-to-head, look at that. Toronto's won 7 of the last 7 matchups, all 7. And their team total, it's at 2.5 minus 160. Could use it as a parlay piece, but it's hitting all 7 of those games. And if you wanted plus money play, the over 3.5 is hitting all but one of those games. But it was set at 2.5, so that's what I put down here. Yeah.
In terms of goaltender information, we have Joseph Wall listed as likely on Daily Faceoff. Jake Ottinger unconfirmed. You'd have to assume it's him, but nothing confirmed yet. And we got a couple quick comments here we'll address. Morning, Dave. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you being here. Reyes Matthews, a point wagon. We will check in on that. And Dave also saying Lawrence on the top line with Matthews and Marner. And we got a question as well from Dave as well. Franco, you on the Geeky Brothers and Robo Brothers? Seeing them nod along.
I think I'm going to take both stacked because it's fun. I've personally laid the Robo ones twice ever, and both times Nick scored and Jason didn't. I know Jason has been heating up, so I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to take Nick straight. He's been decent, and he was off getting scratched too, so that's kind of like a bonus as well.
Absolutely. And here's your lines. So Robertson, third line with Domi and McMahon.
Man, that's just ridiculous.
Jay Robo's obviously first line. And Robertson second line power play.
First line. Jesus.
Hey,
I mean, out of principle, you have to take his goal prop out of principle, guys. I don't really care.
His deployment. That's literally Franco's bread and butter. Oh, this guy's got an opportunity. All right, bet his goal.
Plus 600 on DK. I'm not shopping it, but
there you go.
It's an auto bet.
It's good.
You're playing with such talented players. All it has to do is hit off your stick.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Okay. And I just pulled up. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, in terms of offensive stats, Leafs only shoot 26.5 times per game over their last 30 days. Dallas only allowing 25.3 shots against per game. I don't know what that means, but just throwing it out there. I know what it means. I don't know what you would want to do with it.
Take a look at some saves unders. But yeah, just you talking about the Robertson brothers, it feels like I don't think Jason scored much. Yeah, he hasn't scored against the Leafs. So when he plays this matchup, he doesn't score. You could say the do angle for sure, but Nick actually has the better success. So playing him at the plus 650 number, that seems pretty nice. Did Lorenz? Oh, yeah. I want to see if Lorenz is on here.
He is 850, and he has scored once against them
on Caesars. Yeah, that's crazy. Last 10, he does have a goal, but opportunity looks pretty good here.
What's the point for him before you leave?
They won't give you that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have a point. It'll just be his goal.
No way. It would have to be like 2 or 3 games on the top line before they'll give you that typically. Yeah. For a guy like that.
Bastards. Shots wise, did you say anything? I know the Leafs aren't shooting and the Stars aren't allowing a ton, but anything? Did you say wingers on?
Leafs allowing the 9th most shots over the last 30 days. They are particularly leaky to wingers.
Okay, and is Johnston centering? I'm pretty sure he plays right wing with Duchesne and Ben. Is that correct?
I'll get your lines. 1 second here. Robertson hints that enough. Johnston on the right wing right now.
Yeah. Just because, this is why Johnston on the road again. 60%. He's much better on the road than he is at home, especially in a good matchup like this. I just want to see if Lorenz has a line.
Even money. I don't know.
Yeah, not bad for a good matchup here. I think I saw in the chat, we saw someone saying Matthews points as a wagon.
Yep.
Does look pretty good. Minus 132? Is that right?
That's going to
Why
be
is
for
it-
1.5, I think.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, there you go.
What was I looking at?
I don't know.
Two
Crazy.
is listed on DraftKings at plus 200 right now.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's not bad.
I mean, they score in this matchup historically. Gone over the 3.5, 6 out of the last 7 games.
I mean, do you guys have an interest in the Leafs at home at plus money? They're plus 105. I understand Dallas has been hot, but given that track record with these two playing each other and Leafs being at home, I feel like this is the time when you want to take the Leafs when you're getting them at plus money.
Yeah, you definitely could, especially with the history. Like, the history isn't phenomenal. I mean, Matthews scores, gets a point, puts his name on the score sheet in one way or another in this matchup for sure.
So we do have some save lines as well for interested. Wall set at 25.5, minus 120 to the under. And Ottinger set at 23.5, minus 120 to the under. Oh, and
Wait.
we got a revenge game. Chris Tanev. Good call, Adam.
Wall's what? Oh, 25
25.5.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you said 20.5. I was like, okay, I'll take that over.
I still think that's okay for an over.
Yeah.
Like, Dallas is shooting on average 30.3 shots for per game.
Mm-hmm. It's quite a bit. I mean, I can see it. He's hitting 5 straight. Yeah.
Leafs are giving up 30. I got to write that one
We've
down.
usually been going under for saves, but I don't mind this over.
I like the line. Any thoughts, Franco? You've been dabbling with goalie stuff much?
It's been a little dicey. I've seen some really funny lines. Like they've been hanging a couple 20.5s in a couple matchups, and you're like, I have to take the over there, right? And I know it went under the other day with one. So that Tanev angle is interesting, though. He had 4 his last game against them, Tanev, this year.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Nice.
4 blocks?
Yes. He had 4, and the line's 2.5 minus 140. So.
Yep. That's not bad. I know Adam loves his block shot plays. So
my only problem with block shots is like you never know when a guy's really gonna want to lay out. In the playoffs, you know they're gonna do it every single game. In the regular season, it's like, my body's hurting. I'm gonna take the day off.
Yeah.
All right. We got a couple comments and then we'll move on here. Duchesne. Can we pull up Duchesne? Dave saying he's got a lot of friends and family at the game. Likes coming home from Brampton, I believe.
Not bad history against them.
On a big slate, I don't think you have to force it.
Yeah, I think my favorite play would be Joseph Wall saves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if history repeats himself and Toronto's leading, they are the better home team, and they're coming off an embarrassing 3-0 loss to who? Can't put my finger on it, but
Van something.
I don't know. Is they on my hat or behind me? I'm not sure, but
potentially.
Yeah. So I mean, they could come out firing, and then Dallas, who's been shooting a lot, might need to shoot. Yeah, I think Wall is probably my favorite play in the game. Frankie, you got anything?
I think I'm going to take the
Robo Bros.
Yeah, besides the Robos, I think I'm going to take that Toronto money line. I like it at the number.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to grab that.
Yeah, not bad.
Plus 105 on DK. We'll keep it moving. Next up, we've got the San Jose at the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit, a minus 200 money line favorite at home. San Jose is a great target for everything. Second most goals against, first most shots against. Terrible to wingers and defensemen. Ninth best matchup for centers as well. Giving up a decent amount of power play opportunities against as well. Spittin', we will go to you and I'll get some goalie information if you have your sheet ready.
Yeah, bud. San Jose, terrible road record. 5-12-5 on the season. They've come into this game, loses to 3 straight, 2-7-1 over their last 10 games. Complete opposite for Detroit. As soon as they made the coaching change, they've just been on a heater. They've won 7 straight, 12-10-2 at home, 7 of the last 10 games. Historically, the overs hit at 5.5, 4 out of the last 5 games. I don't think San Jose's been scoring that much lately. Haven't done great, but I mean Detroit has. So obviously, you just lean Detroit money line here. I don't know why.
I got a number for you.
Yeah.
San Jose 1.78 goals per game over their last 30 days. That's the worst in the NHL.
Scratch it. Don't like the over anymore.
Wow.
But I mean, San Jose was scoring before. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
They lost Jake Wallman, who just came back last game.
Mm.
He's a pretty big play driving defenseman. I mean, he's no Quinn Hughes or anything, but
and
he's their version of Quinn Hughes. We'll say that. How about that?
Yeah, he's like the Walmart Quinn Hughes.
I mean, considering they have to run Lil Jagrin as their top power play guy when he's out, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, totally.
All right. And in terms of goaltenders, Ville Husso confirmed for the Red Wings. We got a couple people in the chat saying Georgiev is starting. Not listed on Daily Faceoff. I don't see a prop for that yet, but we have some smart people in the chat, so they might be ahead of the sites that I'm using. So if it's Georgiev, yikes. Okay, and lots of, I love everybody saying Georgiev starting, so hopefully we get a line for that shortly. Okay, the Brinket, been hot.
I mean, I did this against Chicago. I did a Kane to Brinket point parlay. I mean, it paid off. Kane had 3 assists. Brinket had a goal and an assist, I believe. But, I mean, what's not to like about parlaying these two again? I mean, 7-game point streaks for both of them. I don't know exactly how many points that is. I can't count that fast. 5. I don't know. Whatever.
13,
a lot. It's a lot of multi-point games, so I like that a lot, especially if Georgiev's in net. I mean, we know how terrible he's been this year on a good Colorado team. Now he's on a bad team. So, sorry, Shark fans, but yeah, I like that point stack. One guy I just wanted to point Eklund out. Picked him up in fantasy, so obviously he's going to do good. You never really see this. A 1.5 shots line at -110 for the deployment this guy gets. Where's his TOI? It's averaging, like, take this game out. I believe he probably got hurt or something, but like nearly 20 minutes per game over his last 7 games. So he's seeing a lot of ice, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Detroit's been pretty good against shots lately, but seeing a 1.5 line at near even money for a guy getting this deployment, I really like.
As a bonus, he moved up to the top power play the last game as well. He had been on the second unit.
Well, how do we not play this then? I mean, I know shots and everything aren't great.
I locked it in this morning. That was one of my first plays I posted.
Okay,
actually.
good. And on the road, he cleared in his only game with 5 against the Red Wings. So
where's the best price on that one?
It's -110 on MGM is where I saw it, I believe.
It says FanDuel here. MGM's -115 now.
Okay, write them both down.
Yeah.
He's also playing with Celebrini. He's been all throughout the lineup. I know he was with Granlund the last game, but they said he ended the last game with Celebrini, so that's just a bonus as well.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty underrated player. Like, no one really talks about him, but I think he's pretty good. So I'll probably lock him in at the shots. I do like the point stack of Kane and DeBrincat. That would be all for me. Franco, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to probably have a lot on this game. So I already have Eklund, like I said. Jake Wallman already has been mentioned in the chat a couple times, but every single which way I can bet him, I'm going to probably take him today. So points, shots, goal, and probably sprinkle his power play point. I believe, if I'm not mistaken here, that Detroit's PK is pretty terrible. At least it was about a week ago. I haven't checked the more recent numbers, but yeah, I thought they were pretty bad. He did have a power play assist the last game against them as well. That was his point he recorded. So, towards the
19th worst. Yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, I think he's such a big difference maker on this team. Like I said, the Walmart Quinn Hughes. But yeah, he's involved heavily with this team. So give me the shots, give me the point, give me the goal. I'm going to spread out the units, accordingly based on the odds and stuff like that. I do like that Kane and DeBrincat point parlay. I think that's fantastic. I don't mind looking at them for power play points as well, though, given how bad that PK is and how hot Detroit's has been. Adding Georgiev into the mix just makes it even better. So I think you're getting them around like plus 300-ish range. So again, spread it out however you want to do it, but I think there's some value there. I just think there's gonna be a lot of goals here, and there was a stat too. I don't know if I'm gonna get there on this one just because I don't want to go so heavy on this game, but teams with Georgiev and net are like before the last game, of course, because Utah couldn't get there, but I think they're like 1-20-4 in the first period, on the first period money line. So you can't get Detroit money line at -205, but you can grab their puck line at plus 130 in the first period, or maybe look for a live team total in the first period if you want to wait. But besides that last game against Utah, who we know are terrible at home, Georgiev has been an absolute fade as a first period goaltender.
For sure, I like that. Little different look than we're used to bringing to the show, so I like that.
Absolutely, lots of good stuff from Franco. Real quick, we'll hit some stuff in the chat, and then maybe we'll take a quick look at some power play points potentially.
Yeah.
Waggy says, Waggy, thanks for joining us. Raymond points at home is a wagon for a parlay piece. Agreed. Numbers look real good. I think he's -215 or something, so a little pricey, but if you're doing a parlay for a point, yep. Revenge game for Wallman, so that's a fun one.
I was going to say that it's his first game in Detroit since he was traded last year.
And
so
Dave
just
says
another added bonus.
Detroit's power play is fire right now, 48.3% over their last 9 games. They're averaging 3.22 power plays per game.
Jesus.
And here, I'll give you their top units numbers. So DeBrincat 6 power play points over his last. These are all over the last 10. So DeBrincat 6 points, Larkin 7 points, Kane 7 points, Raymond 8 points, Sider 6 points. Siders are all assists.
I remember they used to split the power play up. I think they had DeBrincat and Kane on the second unit, and then they'd have Raymond and Larkin on the first unit. Now they've just stacked their top unit, and it's really paying off. I mean, look at these charts, and these are plus 200 numbers for most of them, just crazy. So I definitely like that look.
If you had to pick one, does anybody stand out?
I think I'm going to ride with Kane, I think. But like I said, either way, I don't think you can really go wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just going to write down Detroit first power play. Pick.
One more thing, another guy to highlight. Again, I don't know if I'm going to get there with this, but Marco Kasper's playing on the top line, has a goal in 2 straight. He's plus 460 for a goal. Maybe better somewhere else, but just another guy getting minutes, getting opportunity. He's on the second power play as well. He recorded a power play point in that last game.
Ooh,
that's a fun one.
And he scored against San Jose earlier this season.
Opportunity calls, man. I mean,
yeah,
that's a fun one.
Sure.
Anything else before we move on?
I am good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to say this is a massive slate, and we've got a very active chat. I don't know if we're going to get to every game, so if there's any game that you guys are just not feeling, just let me know right off the top, and we can just skip it. All right. Next up, we've got the Kraken at the Penguins. Pittsburgh a -145 money line favorite at home. Both these teams giving up a ton of goals. 8th worst for Seattle, 1st worst for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh also giving up a ton of shots, and they are a great matchup for every positional group. Pittsburgh is good on the power play. We can say that. Spittin', we'll go to your sheet if you're ready, and I'll take a quick look at the goalies before we do that. So Decord likely for the Kraken, Jari in for the Penguins.
If anybody has Bodog or Bovada, you can get Detroit Red Wings to score a power play goal. So you don't have to pick which one. It's not as great of a price, but it's -125. I looked on another book and it was minus 180. So that's a pretty steep difference there. And so I just played that for a unit and a half.
Like that a lot.
Yeah. Minus 125. Like, now you don't have to pick. Now you don't have to sweat. What game did he say? I was totally zoned out.
We are Seattle at Pittsburgh.
Yeety, right on. All right. Seattle hasn't been great. 9-13 on the road, 3-6-1 last 10. Pittsburgh 12-9-3. They're better at home than they are on the road. They were on a crazy winning streak, but now losers of 2 straight, 3-4-3 over their last 10. Historically, Seattle's taken this matchup, won 4 out of the last 5, and the under is actually pretty good. It's set at 6, but these games are going like 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, like not even sniffing that 6 line. But the only thing I'd be worried about is Seattle's been scoring and they've been getting scored on a ton. Their last 3 games have all finished with this score of 6-2, whether they win or lose. So, I mean, hey, if you're betting correct score, take that.
So in terms of recent goals against, I have Seattle second worst, 4 against per game. Pittsburgh is third worst, 3.9 against per game.
I'll start because I don't really have anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe looking at some defenseman shots here, but, you know, just for time's sake, I won't spend too much time on this game.
Franco, anything for you?
Yeah, I don't love this game. The only guys I'll be looking at are Capo Caco on Seattle side. Since he's come over, he's been pretty damn good overall, point-wise. That would be where I'd be looking mainly. If you like the Seattle side. And then on the Pittsburgh side, I like Bunting. He missed the last game. I believe he got in a car accident on his way to the game or something like that. Ridiculous. So I don't know if lines are up yet because of that, but he should be in I believe I saw on Daily Faceoff earlier today. So I don't mind looking at him for a point, a goal, power play point, whatever you want to do as far as the angle goes. But he's been awesome this year. So I'll be looking at that.
Yeah, he's always been typically plus money. And I mean, look at these charts.
Yep.
Pretty dang good, especially for plus money. Head to head, he's got the history too. So I don't mind that. But
yeah, it looks like he is confirmed on Daily Faceoff from a beat reporter out of Pittsburgh. Malkin has a question, though. So that's his enemy. So he's on the second line.
I think
Malkin.
Malkin's on IR.
And
check his power play point, too. It looks really good as well.
Malkin game time decision is what it says as of 11:51.
Oh, I thought he was on IR. My bad.
Bunting also first power play unit.
Yep.
So there you go. We don't have money. Or we don't have a price.
No.
Too bad.
I'm ready to move.
Yeah,
All right.
I got news, but it's for a later game, so we'll get to that.
All right, sounds good. Next up, we've got the Anaheim Ducks at the Washington Capitals. Capitals minus 272 money line favorite at home. Capitals scoring a ton. Anaheim allowing a good amount at over 3 goals against per game. Also allowing the second most shots a game, including being a fantastic matchup for every positional group. Washington is scoring a good amount on the power play, 24% conversion rate on the season. I'll look at some recent numbers. In terms of goalies, I believe we had it in the chat somewhere, but like I said, tons of action, so I can't find it. So we'll take a look. But somebody did say it in the chat, so shout out to you. And I, of course, can't find it. There we go. Logan Thompson. I believe someone said this was confirmed. I believe it was Adam. And no information on the Ducks side of things. We'll go to Spittin's recent trends chart, and then we'll jump into some props if we like the game.
I mean, not much to say. Washington dogs at home, 14-4-4. Anaheim's 9-9-3. Washington's won 4 out of the last 5. But I really want to talk about this guy, where I should have pulled this up. Oh, I didn't even pull up my sheet. Whoops. Whatever.
You're good.
Troy Terry is back tonight.
Yes.
Guess what he just had? A kid.
Oh,
Baby bump. usually scores. Players usually score after they have a kid. So checking his goal prop here, plus 240. And before he left, he was kind of on a heater. He had 4 goals over his last 4 games. You can get that at plus 240. Probably stealing a little bit of Franco's thunder there by saying that. But, I mean, you get plus money for his 0.2, which is pretty nice. And, I mean, like I said, he's been on a tear. Before he left, had points in 4 straight before his last 2 games against the Capitals. So I'll be on Terry in some way or another.
The price on that point prop is fantastic. He was like minus 140 before he left.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why. I mean, I guess it's because Logan Thompson's in net, but he just gets so many minutes and so much opportunity. You gotta love it. And then that baby angle just makes it that much better.
Yeah.
Like that one.
Undoubtedly. You said any shots
Mhm.
for the Cap side, I'm assuming?
Yeah. So
Gotta go, Che. How was that, Franco?
I'm on it.
For Philly. Oh, you're on his shots?
Yeah, that's another one I'm on today.
Oh,
there we go. Talk about it.
Value's insane. Opportunity is insane, right? So, I mean, he's not getting top line or top power play or anything like that, but just given the style of player he is, his volume is insane. And obviously last game he only had 3 attempts, but overall he's a volume shooter. I think he's better. They're on the road, right?
Yeah.
He's better on the road as well if you split that.
67%.
So getting him at 1.5 at I actually got him at plus 100 on Bet365. Even minus 102 is fine, but I think those odds are just silly. And again, I think it's kind of reflective of that shift we saw yesterday of that 20 or 30 cent move. This should be around like minus 130, I would say, or worse.
Yeah. And I mean, like, sure, his attempts aren't there really, last game wasn't there, but he still landed all 3 on net. Plus, he's doing it in like 13 minutes and 12 minutes of ice time. So like even I wouldn't get too discouraged about the ice time here because he's able to do it.
And in terms of recent trends, we have just aligns with a comment here. Dave says Chikrin for 3 shots. Anaheim giving up the most shots to defensemen, 10.8 per game over their last 10. So
not bad. 36 out of the last 10. His attempts are down the last 2 games, but I mean, he can explode with these super high shooting volume days, especially in a good matchup. And he's cleared in 4 straight against the Ducks. So don't mind that at all. I can't believe we came into this and our 2 favorite props were both on Anaheim.
Here, maybe I can convince you on a Washington one. So Washington shots for 29.6 per game. Anaheim shots for as of late 30.6. Oh, no, it's shots against. Apologies. So Washington 29.6 shots against, Anaheim 30.6 shots against. So they're both hovering around 30 shots against. Shots for Washington only shooting 23.3 shots for per game. Anaheim 27.1 shots per game. The reason why I think this is interesting, Logan Thompson, the over-under set at 23.5 saves.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little low, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels good if you drop those stats, but then again, this is one of those games where you could see them have 19 shots and be hating it.
I'm also not going to bet it.
But it is a good look. I mean, Washington are allowed. It's just so scary. But the Ducks have been shooting quite a bit. So yeah, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite play in this game.
It's an interesting one. Anything else in this one before we move on?
Ready to roll.
No, I'm good.
Let's keep it moving. Can't bet Jackson Lacombe today, but we'll be back. Next up, we've got the Flyers at the Columbus Blue Jackets. Flyers a minus 110 money line favorite on the road. Blue Jackets scoring a ton, giving up a ton, and middle of the pack in terms of shots against, top 6 in shots for. Flyers allowing a fair amount of goals on the season, second worst per game. We'll look at some more recent numbers in a minute. In terms of starting goaltenders, Tarasov for the Blue Jackets confirmed. No information on the Flyers side. Spittin, we'll go to your sheet for some recent trends.
Right on. Flyers 9-9-4 on the road on the season, but Columbus fantastic at home, 14-5-3. There was winners of 4 straight, 7-2-1 in the last 10. I mean, they're trying to make a playoff push. I kind of hope they get in because, they've gone through a lot this season. But, I mean, Philly statement win against Katagochi and the Ducks on Saturday night. Franco, what'd you think about that one?
Oh, man, it was great. The crowd was electric. You could hear them, like, on the TV, like, clear as day.
Jamie's better.
So that was awesome. I haven't heard the Farg sound like that in quite a while, so it was good to watch, and just a statement win, dominant performance. So fun to see. But now we're back to reality here. I like the CBJ right now in this game.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's get into some props here. Anything? This is your team. Anything sticking out to you right away?
I went CBJ side mainly here. Fantilli Point looks fantastic. Moved up to the top line in the last 2 games with Monahan out. Looks like he's going to be out for at least another week or 2. So the value
is still playable.
Good. Yeah, I mean, it's still good. I wish it was plus money still. I think it was plus 130 the first game, plus 115 the last, and now we're all the way down to minus 125. Fedotov has been okay. He played 2 games back-to-back against Toronto and had been off for, like, before the Christmas break. Before that, they had been running Kolosov as the backup to Erson. I don't know if it's going to be Kolosov or Fedotov tonight, so we'll see there. Obviously, that's a little up in the air, but I'm doubting it's Erson. So regardless, neither of those guys are guys that I trust night in and night out. CBJ at home has been fantastic. So mainly, like I said, looking CBJ props if I'm going anything here.
Yep, I like that. I like Fantilli again. I believe Flyers are allowing second most goals against over the last 10.
I have them at 10th, 3.11 per game.
Oh.
Also, the fewest shots against, 23.4.
Yeah, they've been tightening up a little bit.
Yeah. Playing that torts hockey.
Yep.
That still bodes well for our Fantilli Point. I like that one. I will be riding with you guys.
Yeah, I think Fantilli Point is the best play on the board. That's probably all I'm going to play in this one.
You could look at some unders for CBJ guys here. Shot spitting if you want. It's a good one to test it.
Yeah.
And then we got one comment, Reyes, saying, connect me point. So we'll take a quick look at that one before we move on. And we will.
The only thing is, like, I don't think I'd take anyone for a point. Like, I'm not going to take an under 1.5 point play. And Marchenko's just so good at home. And you can't, Werenski's playing way too well to take his under. So can't, won't be looking at that. What was the other one? Sorry. Connect me point?
Connect me point. Yeah, Werenski's going to win the Norris. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine. He can win the Norris. He's win the Hart. It's all good.
Maybe.
He's gonna get votes. I don't think he's gonna win, but I'm hoping as long as he finishes in the top 3, gets that recognition he deserves, I'm happy.
Okay. I need him to win the Norris too, please. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Check out Noah Cates' chart against them, and just his last 10 is kind of ridiculous. Getting him plus 140.
I saw on Daily Faceoff it had Noah Cates on the first line. Now I don't think that he's actually on the first line, but like because it was like Tyson Forrester and Bobby Brink, I think, on his wings. But like,
yeah,
they just do that according to practice. So they probably led the first one, and so they called it the first line. But I mean, plus 140 for how he's doing lately, plus his head-to-head chart is very good. He had 2 points against them earlier this season. I mean, that's a sneaky little look right there.
He had a nasty goal last night. Nasty goal. Backhand, bar down. It was pretty sweet. So
against the Bees.
Yeah. One other guy to look at is this kid Del Belbaluz. I don't know when they're going to give us a point prop, but he's been racking up points. I'm going back to his goal prop though. He has 2 goals in his 3 games played so far in his career. So I'm just going to take him again tonight, but when he gets his point prop offered at some point, he's been pretty damn good. I don't know if they're ever going to give him that, so. You gotta go
good. Maybe
you gotta go to goals to look at him.
goals.
But yeah, I mean, he looks good. I believe he's one of the better players in the AHL too. Before they called him up.
What a name, dude!
The name,
Like,
the name's fantastic. Check out his points though. It's pretty crazy.
Del Bell Blues. Yeah, I mean, points in all of his games this season.
Yep,
that's not bad. You think we get a line? I doubt it.
No, maybe eventually, but I doubt it.
Maybe we just have to tag Bet365, see if they can. So,
all right,
we did that. We did that for Tyler Myers. It ended up cashing, but I never saw it on the app. But way after the game, they messaged me back and they said, "Oh yeah, we can confirm it was up." I was like, "I checked at 7:05."
Yeah, it wasn't.
3
it
minutes
wasn't there.
before puck drop, it was not there.
Yeah,
little liars. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, next up, we've got the Florida Panthers at the New Jersey Devils. Both these teams scoring, both top 12 in scoring, both top 8 in shots for. Both of these teams decent at shot suppression, top 10 in the league. The Devils also 29th in goals against. Markstrom having a year. Yeah. Florida good against defensemen if you want to target defensemen shot on goals. Props. But outside of that, we'll go to Spittin' for some trends.
Yeah, I'm just going to come out and say I'm probably not going to have too much on this game just so we can kind of speed things up. Just two kind of good defensive teams outside of Florida to defense. This is one of the games that you just kind of want to watch. You know, you don't want to have any skin in the game because it's going to be a good game of hockey. But 13-8-1 on the road for the Panthers, 13-6-3 for the Devils. The Devils have historically won this matchup, winning 3 out of the last 4. Just for the purpose of what you said earlier, we'll check out maybe some Dougie shots.
Yeah. We got a question in the chat. You're reading their mind.
He's cleared 4 out of the last 6 on here. Head-to-head looks good outside of his last 3 games. Twice they've played this season, and he hasn't been able to clear. In a good matchup. He is better at home. Oh, no, he's not. Psych. Better on the road. 57%. I think he was better at home. Yeah, to start the year, he was great at home. But it kind of
good spot, but I don't know if you want to force it.
Yeah. Franco, you got anything?
I kind of lean Florida here on the money line, plus 130. I think given the nature of last night, right? So they had the lead in that game against the Flyers, blew it late. Obviously, Philly gets the win late with a third period goal to win 4-3. This felt like a look-ahead spot going into yesterday, and I really thought Knight was going to start going in that Flyers game, and we'd see Bob in this one. They flip-flopped it, though. Bob started last night. But still, I think this is a game that this team has circled on the calendar as far as, you know, wanting to get one back after being dominated the last couple. So I like the value here at plus 130, coming off a loss against Philly. It's not like the back-to-back doesn't really scare me. These two stadiums are like a minute away from each other, basically, as far as, you know, travel spots go. So plus 130 there. The only other one I looked at was Jesper Boquist goal plus 650 against his former team. He recorded one earlier this year. I was on it, and I'm going back to it. Sorry, I'm giving you the most ridiculous shit.
I'm pretty sure I saw that one. I saw you post that on Twitter. I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah, I hit him against Utah, and I hit him against Jersey earlier this year. So I'm 2-0 on his vengeance spots, so to speak. But
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good looks. I like them both. But I'm ready to move.
Yeah.
All right. I think I have time for one more game. We'll let you guys pick it. Anybody want to get to? If you want to keep going, feel free. But there's also no pressure. So it's up to you guys. But in terms of our next game.
It's a big slate. I got nowhere to be. And Franco drove all the way from work to get here. So I'm happy to keep going with Franco.
I can hang. Yeah,
sure.
Love it. Okay. I will have it on in the background once I have to take off. Spin, I'll also send you a link for my sheet if you want to use it.
Sure.
Okay, why don't we do our Vancouver game?
Oh.
Wow, so I want to be here for this one. Spitting our Vancouver expert. We had our Philly expert already go. Vancouver is taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Jets a minus 160 money line favorite at home. Jets third most goals for and the fewest goals against. And their Jets are actually a decent matchup in terms of most positional groups on the season. Vancouver, not so much. Spittin, we'll go to you for some trends, and then I believe we don't know Vancouver's goalie, but Hellebuck is in net for the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. Maybe Dan. I don't know. I couldn't tell you who's in that. But Lankinen coming off a shutout, probably going to go back to him, especially with the extra day of rest there. But Vancouver's 12-5-4 on the road this season. Much better on the road than they are at home. Trust me, I've been to games. It sucks. The Jets 16-4-3. They're great at home too. Last 10, just looking at that. Winnipeg, obviously much better than Vancouver. Vancouver goes to overtime, loses seemingly every single game. And head-to-head, Winnipeg's taking this matchup as well. Winners of 5 of the last 6. And the over's hitting 7 of the last 8 at 5.5. The news that I saw earlier is that Philip Hronek is back tonight.
Ooh.
So that's a massive...
Huge.
That's
Quinn
like...
against his buddy.
I don't know if you guys are locked in if you're watching the Canucks, but like it was abysmal on the right side for his whole absence. I mean, Tyler Myers was playing top pairing. He was fine, but like it's Tyler Myers, you know, he's got the nickname Chaos Giraffe for a reason. So yeah, you said what were good matchups? Seemed to tune you out there. My apologies.
No, this one's a tough game because if I'm looking at recent numbers, Vancouver is only getting 23.9 shots for per game. Winnipeg is only getting 27.3 shots against per game. Neither of these teams shooting much. Neither of these teams allowing many shots. So I don't know what you'd want to do. The saves line is insane, 20.5.
So low.
Frank was talking
That's
about.
what you were talking about earlier. Like that's insane. The only thing though, like this is what's hard to read into this because you're like, oh wow, like he's done fantastic. You know, he's clearing this line all the time. His line is never this. No. It's never 20.5. Like it's always hovering between maybe 24 to 26, depending on the matchup. And at that line, he's not really clearing that much, right? So I don't know.
So why are they hanging this number then? You know,
but the Canucks really don't shoot that much. They really don't. Like I watched the game; they had 14 against Carolina the whole time.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like it's hard to back anybody. Like all of their players except for Connor Garland and Quinn Hughes have a 1.5 line, and you've got Pedersen making 11.6, Miller making $8 million, and they're just not. I mean. Miller has been better. Miller has been better. But anyway.
Are their shots better on the road, though? Like, I know they play better on the road. Are their shots better on the road, then?
Miller's is? I don't know.
I would have to imagine it. Like
bad. Petey's better at home. I think Garland's pretty good, but at the 1.5 line.
It's not bad. Definitely better away.
Yeah. For sure. I still probably not going to play anything shots wise. Like it's just kind of tough unless you want to go JT Miller over 1.5. I don't mind that because he's been pretty good at shooting lately. And also they split up their lines. So now it's DeBrusk, Petey, and Bezer. And Petey is coming off the best game of the season. Like he is I don't know if you watched the game, but it was like he shut down Matthews and Marner. It's so weird because normally when it's Miller and Bezer together, that's the line that typically goes up against the harder matchups. And so Petey against weaker matchups should have the opportunity to exploit them and find the back of the net, right? But he does not play well. Like it seems like he plays to his level of opponent. So when he's playing up against the top line, that's when he really thrives. And that's what we saw against the Maple Leafs. Like he was able to shut them down consistently the whole night. His teammates were even calling Selke from the bench because he was just out there blocking shots, diving to make plays. It was one of the best games I've seen of him, especially this season. I mean, but Hellebuck's, Hellebuck has as many shutouts as he has losses on the year.
6.
That's ridiculous.
Nuts. Yeah. So I don't know. I would go Vancouver points here, but like it's up against Hellebuck. I don't know.
They
You're getting
stay
good
away.
prices, so if you can find a good spot here, then I don't mind it. But I mean, hopefully they can kind of build off what they had last game. But I don't know if I'm going to be betting on that.
Anything for you, Franco?
Look at Hughes 2 points. Again,
Ooh.
tough matchup.
Mm-hmm.
That and his power play point have been ridiculous. I guess his power play hasn't been as good.
Spittin is a noted 2-point hater. He never plays 2 points with me when I bet McKinnon.
I did it one time.
For McDavid.
I parlayed it. I parlayed McDavid and Draisaitl 2+ points, and it worked. And it
Change it to
won.
road. Change it to road now too. Makes it even better. I know this is not the matchup to do it, but
Yeah.
it's
good.
It's intriguing.
Yeah.
Good nugget to remember, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to have anything in this game because Canucks, like, they don't shoot a lot, but they don't allow a lot of shots either. They play that low event hockey, which is, but
I think that's,
but yeah.
What about under?
No, can't do it.
No. Yeah, it's minus 142 on an under. I don't mind it, to be honest, because I could see it being low scoring. But
yeah. The thing about the Canucks though is they can score. They have like one of the highest shooting percentages in the league, but like they'll get 3 goals in like 17 shots. So like,
yeah, it's one of those things that just doesn't make sense. The logic doesn't. Yeah,
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, I have to take off. Sounds like Franco and Spittin are going to keep the party rolling, though. Franco, I do want to say thank you so much for taking time to join us today. Really appreciate having you. Some awesome insights so far, and I'm excited to keep listening in the background as I get back to work. Lame. But, yeah, no, thank you very much for being here. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. And let's have a good night tonight.
Absolutely. Yes. Good luck tonight, everybody. Like I said, I will be listening and trying to be active in the chat if I can. Spittin sent you the link for the sheet that I had pulled up via Discord if you want it.
Thank you.
I believe you have access to it.
Can you text it to me or Twitter it to me?
Yeah, I will. Thanks. Twitter it to you.
Twitter it.
All right. Yeah, I'm heading off. I'll send that to you right now. And yeah, good luck with the rest of the show, fellas.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Franco, can you control the chat for me? Just tell me if anyone has any questions because I'm bouncing between 3 screens.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank
God. I thought shots would never leave. Just kidding.
No, we can get serious with the Ottawa Senators and the New York Islanders.
Yeah, exactly. That's the next game on the slate. Once I get Shots' message, I will open up his sheet. But just looking at the head-to-head matchup here, both teams coming in on a winning streak. Senators have won 2 straight. Islanders have won 3 straight. Uninspiring records on the road for the Senators and at home for the Islanders. Islanders have actually won 4 out of the last 5. And just an interesting trend that I've done this sheet for about 3 years, and you usually never, ever see a team not like have a 0 in the over-under 6. And right now, if the Sens game goes under tonight, then they'll have a 0 in the column right here. So it'll be like 0-8-2 or 0-8-3, depending on the game. And that kind of made me like the over. Yeah. And like, plus historically, the over's hitting 4 straight games. So I kind of like the over. But that's about it for that sheet. We can kind of take a look at the props now. Did you have anything while I try and pull up Shots' sheet?
So a couple guys I want to highlight, just given what I've seen, or kind of a narrative a little bit, but JG Pageau is the guy I want to highlight mainly. So
okay.
they don't have his point prop anymore, unfortunately. But against Ottawa, he typically does record a point, being a former player for them. I wish they did. Unfortunately, they don't. I think it's mainly because he's moved down the lineup a little bit. He was playing on the top line earlier this year. But yeah, if you look at his point prop, if we do somehow get it, it would be a lot better than his goal prop.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably lay his. I probably will lay his goal prop just because of the narrative there. He is playing on the line with Duclair, who I like as well. He's another former Sen, and another guy kind of cooled off overall, but I don't know. Maybe this is the game they show up on. As far as the real type of guys, Anders Lee's been awesome recently. You can get his point at -136 today. Historical against them is pretty damn good, and his recent form is pretty damn good. So, lots of multi-point games in there. I feel like that's a good guy to grab, and at the right price. I think in a worse matchup he'd be at like -140, -150. So I don't mind it at -136.
Yeah, he's riding a 4-game point streak against the Sens, which is good. 2 multi-point games, including one this season already. So he's getting the points. He's got a 3-game point streak with 5 points over that span. So, Anders Lee. What was his deployment? Sorry, did you say? Was he?
He should be top line, top power play.
Yeah,
which is ideal. I think they kind of formulated that power play to be the best it can be as far as this roster goes. With Lee, Nelson, they kind of had everybody kind of broken up earlier in the year. Now it's, Barzell being back from injury is obviously big for them as well. So he's been hot since coming back. I think everything kind of plays in with them playing all together and makes it look a little bit better. And if we're thinking this is a potential over, I do like the Islanders to get three goals here, maybe 4. So
yeah, I don't mind it. I think just for the narrative, I got to be on the over. Just because of what I typically find for trends. One thing interesting here on Shots' sheet, and I don't know like how much you necessarily take this into account, but the Senators are drawing the most penalties for per game, 3.29 over the last 30 days. And we know this Islanders penalty kill is terrible, 65.2%, worst in the league. So is power play point on the other side, on the Ottawa side, kind of something that you're looking into? I mean, their power play, what's it clicking at? Did I see 11th? Yeah, 11th best, 23.9.
Yeah, it's decent. I like that a lot, actually. I didn't even consider it. I was looking more on the Islanders side, just given that their recent history against each other with the Isles winning most of these games. But yeah, I mean, I think you could look at a guy like Batherson or Norris, have decent histories against them, hitting a 67% clip. Batherson with 4 straight against them. Looks pretty good.
I didn't share this tab. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they've played twice this season. And he's got a power play point in both of the games. So Batherson's a good look there. Norris has good history, as you said. He's got 1.
Yeah, he hasn't been as good, though, overall. But I think Batherson would be the guy I would look at, just given the value. Because I think like when you go to the top guys like Kachuk and stuff, you lose a lot of value when you're looking at these power play point props.
Stützle actually has a better number than Batherson.
Kind of wild.
That is wild, right? And he's got 2 this season against him and 3 straight with 4. I mean, Timmy Stu for a power play point isn't a bad look. Yeah, not a bad sprinkle for either of them. So we like the over, a couple power play points, Anders Lee and JG Pajot, if you can find him.
Yep.
Beauty.
I think that's it for me here. This is not one of the more interesting ones on the slate for me, I would say.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. We move on. Calgary Flames taking on the St. Louis Blues. I don't know the goalie stats or the goalies. Actually, I'll just do it right now.
I believe it's going to be Vladar, given it's a back-to-back.
Wolf played last night. And then Binnington looks confirmed according to the Score app. So, yeah, Calgary coming off the back-to-back. Anything stand out on you here? St. Louis wingers, maybe. Jordan Kyrie's great at home. No one really on the defensive side for the Blues, but they are a target. Calgary's PK is pretty bad, but so is the Blues power play. Head-to-head, take a look here. Calgary's actually won 3 straight, but now they're on the road. They've got a terrible road record, 7-8-4 on the season. St. Louis is 9-10-1. But St. Louis has dominated this matchup historically. Winners of 8 of the last 9, and the over has hit in 3 straight games.
Yeah, that's good for both narratives. I mean, Calgary on the back-to-back,
Yeah.
So maybe lean Blues and then the over given Vladar a net instead of Wolf.
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 That's how
Do we
Ray
go?
says his
Do
name.
we go back to Huberdeau and Kadri point stack?
I don't know. That's what I was just thinking. Like Kadri's gonna get a point tonight because he didn't get one for us last night. So you can pretty much pencil that in right away. Is his point play up -128? Not terrible.
Wow. History's not bad either. I mean, not
Yeah.
more recent, I would say, but
Mm-hmm.
this team's
But
been
I mean-
funky though. I mean, they were bad
Yeah.
last year, the last couple of years, really. So I don't want to take too much into account with the historic.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. But I mean, even when they were bad last year, he had points in 2 straight before missing earlier this season. Shots wise, just because the Flames are pretty leaky against wingers. Jordan Kyrou, he's back at home. I took him against the Blue Jackets. 8 attempts. I didn't even look at this. 8 attempts, 0 shots on net. You
That's so
bastard.
frustrating, man.
You bastard.
Oh my
That was a
God.
good play.
See, that's when you know it. You got to come back to it then at that point
Yeah.
because you were right. It just, I mean, how do you miss the net that many times? That's just pathetic.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, sometimes you'll get games where the guy clears. He'll have 3 shot attempts and he gets all of them on net. Sometimes you'll have it. He gets 0, but he has 8 attempts. Like it's kind of crazy how it works. But I mean, I do like going back to Kyrou. He's just a home dog, dude. 80% on the year. Hasn't missed more than 2 straight once this season. So definitely probably going to be added to my card, especially for this matchup.
Yeah, I think I'm going to add that because I didn't have much on this game in general before we got on. So I think the value is right here for that.
Yeah.
-135.
I like that. -135's playable price for me, at least. You have anything else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Coronado's been
Funky
decent.
goal scorers.
Holloway's been decent. Yeah, this isn't one that I like particularly love. Let me see if there's any weird goal scorers. I know Coronado's been good scoring goals. Ooh, here you go. Here's one. So that guy Peltier the other day had 2 goals against Chicago, and he has played St. Louis once, and he has a goal against them. So +500 might be worth a sprinkle if he's feeling it. Man, what happened to Kuzmenko? Before we move on from this game, what happened to Kuzmenko, dude?
Dude, fall from grace. I don't know, man. The Canucks got out when they could and seemed to work out. I don't know. Yeah, he was great that first year. He scored 37 goals or 39 goals, something like that. 37, almost 40 goal score, and just kind of fell off. I don't know. Brutal to see. What about that rookie?
Oh yeah, he had 2 assists last night.
Yeah, I saw
his name. Rory
Cairns.
Cairns. There you go.
He I saw some stupid stat. It was like point per NHL, like all-time points per game leader, and Cairns leads the NHL. He's ahead of Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Mario Lemieux, Connor McDavid. So, I mean, getting his goal prop at +550 seems like a steal. I'm totally kidding.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it, honestly. I'm not kidding. 4 shot attempts last game, 2 on net. The first Peltier goal was actually a shot by Cairns that was deflected off of Peltier. So could have just been him, but I don't mind grabbing guys in their first couple of games to get one. So
they typically get that rookie luck, and find the back of the net. But we can move on. Next game. Who do we got? The
VGK.
Vegas Golden Knights against the Nashville Predators. Vegas scoring a ton, shooting a ton too. Third most shots, 30.9 per game. They're scoring 3.44, which is good for 5th over the last. Is this on the season? I don't even know. I'll have to ask shots, but shots against. I mean, the Predators are allowing a ton, and Vegas is shooting a ton. Now I don't know how much that splits depending on road/home. But that caught my eye immediately. I don't know if I'm pretty sure Jack Eichel missed last game. I don't know if he'll be back, but if he is, it's a pretty good matchup as the Predators allow the 6th most shots, 10.9 per game. Other than that, not seeing too much of an advantage here on either side. The power plays back to clicking for the Golden Knights, but Nashville's penalty kill's pretty good. They got the 4th best in the league, so nothing immediately standing out on that one. The head-to-head sheet, Vegas is much better at home, but they still got a really good road record too at 11-5-3. Winners of 2 straight and 1 straight. Geez, that's not a thing. Winners of 7 of the last 10. Nashville is better at home than they are on the road, but they are losing 2 straight. But they've won 3 out of the last 4 head-to-head. So, again, no real advantage I'm seeing on that side. Any props you're eyeing in this one?
Well, I will say, first of all, earlier today or yesterday, whenever it was, I looked at it last, I can't remember. This line was -110 on VGK. It has shifted to -130. And the reason why it's significant, especially, is typically Nashville takes money from like the sharps, right? It's been happening all year, regardless of the matchup. You'll see Nashville start at -120 and close like a -150 or -140. So money's moving the opposite way, which likely means Eichel's back, I would have to say. With that being said, I like VGK on the money line if that's the case. -130 still feels like a good price. I don't believe in this Nashville team being truly reinvigorated yet. Barbashev's back, Nick Waugh's back. Those are both 2 big pieces for this team. Now that top line can be put back together the way it's supposed to be instead of having guys like Tanner Pearson and Olofsson and whoever the hell else.
Canucks legend Tanner Pearson.
Yeah. So I lean VGK here. You're getting some decent point props on Barbashev is -105. I feel like that's a really nice price, especially considering a guy like Stone is, -200 for a point always or worse. So I don't mind looking at him. Marchessault is the guy. I see
Just
Dave mention him in the chat. So obviously you have the revenge narrative. He's been shooting as well recently. And this is another guy that I feel like normally he's -150 for 2.5. You're not usually getting him at -130. So love that look. I know that Vegas isn't necessarily the best shot target, but revenge narrative plays into it as well.
But, so yeah, not a great shot target against VGK. But the highest, where they allow the most of their shots is to wingers, 10.3 per game. To the position, I'm definitely going to be playing Marchessault. I'm playing him for shots. He's better at home than he is on the road, clearing 68% of the season. And, I mean, just look at these last 2. Washington and Carolina, or Winnipeg.
2 tough ones. Yeah.
Very tough to get shots on. And his last 2 home games, that's where I saw Carolina and Washington. And I mean, he cleared it with 5 and 6. Now you add the revenge angle into it. It's the first game against Vegas. So in a place that he's familiar, against a matchup that's allowing the majority of their shots to his position, give me all of Jonathan Marchessault today. Are we sprinkling his goal?
Yes. It sucks that he's kind of fallen off. He was red hot like a week ago.
Yeah.
But his goal looks, decent. His point prop looks fantastic. I know it's -142, -145 kind of, but that's right around that juice level for me. May you take him with Forsberg. I got to check the lines, make sure they're still together, but may you parlay him and Forsberg together. But I mean, that point prop looks fantastic.
Yeah. Points look good. Shots look good. I like a lot of Jonathan Marchessault today. And that's probably all I'm going to look at on the Nashville side. And I do like Vegas money line. So you said, well, there's no news on Eichel yet. It's down to -130. Is that something that you're comfortable playing right now, and then you just hope that Eichel comes back? Or are you going to wait to find out if Eichel comes back before you lock it in?
I think I'm going to lock it in because I think the line move is indicative that the betting markets know that he's back, like Vegas knows he's back. And then as soon as he gets announced, that's going to move to minus 140, minus 150. So I still like Vegas at minus 130. I should have grabbed him when I saw that minus 110.
Minus 125 right now on Bet365.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that.
And I mean, the only thing is, so he missed yesterday with I guess it was Sunday. My bad. It's Monday. He missed with an illness. So he's probably good to go. Probably going to come back depending on the sickness. But yeah, I mean, Vegas money line, Marchessault, everything, shots, point, goal, whatever you like. I don't have anything else. Do you?
I think that's good for me. If Eichel is out, I would look at Carlson, given that he was on that top line. But I want to know that before I bet that one.
Yeah, minus 150 for Marchessault for a point on 365.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a big card.
It's gonna be FanDuel. I'm assuming it's the minus 142. But I'm one of those people like minus 145 is like kind of my cutoff. So minus 142 is still in my bettable numbers, especially given his recent form and this matchup.
Yeah, minus 167 as I'm seeing on another book because I don't have FanDuel, but that's a good price if you can snag that on FanDuel before it moves. Speaking of moving, we move. Next matchup, we'll skip the Canucks and the Jets. Didn't have too much on that game anyway, but Rangers taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Just looking at here, we can target pretty much anybody we want on the Av side for shots. They allow the second most shots to centers, second most shots to wings, third most shots overall. They are shooting quite a bit, actually, though. The Rangers are. They got they're sixth, and they're averaging 30 per game. Anything on here? So PPOA, power play opportunities against the Rangers are very undisciplined. They allow 3.2 power play opportunities against per game, which is third best. So we could look at some power play points. But mainly I kind of want to look at some volume power play shooters on the Avalanche here. I will pull that up, but why don't you tell some people what you're on?
So the Rangers were in that full fade mode for quite a while. It felt like it seems like they're a little bit out of it now. I'm not going to say that they're back, but they've been productive offensively, which is what you want to see from them, really. We know Igor can be good on his day. He hasn't been fantastic this year. Blue line still hasn't been great, but I don't mind looking at the over here just in general. I think I get it. Blackwood's been awesome. I'm assuming he's confirmed. Yeah, he is. But just given what the Rangers have been able to do recently offensively and the knowledge that we know that their defense and goaltending hasn't been great still, and what Colorado can do, I don't mind the over here. And obviously looking at point props in general for either side, you're going to get a ton of value on the New York side, though. Obviously, you're not going to get any value on the Colorado side. A guy like Adam Fox is minus 115 for a point feels ridiculous. That might be one of my top kind of guys to look at. Trocheck doesn't look bad either, but yeah, I mean, I feel like there's some value there. I need to check the Avs lines because Lekkonen's on minus 125 for a point, but I guess he hasn't been good recently either. So
I should have pulled up my sheet here before you went off, but I don't mind the over here either. So Rangers 11-11 on the road. Colorado's 12-8-1. The Rangers, how bad they've been. They've actually won 2 straight, bringing the record to 4-5-1 over their last 10. Colorado, just a better team, last 10, 7-2-1. The under is actually hitting 6 of the last 7. Does that scare you? In this
I guess a little bit. And like I said, with Blackwood as well, we know how good he's been. I don't think he's allowed 3 goals yet, right? So, all right, fine. I'm off the over. I'm out.
But you've got to consider that, like, have these 2 teams played yet this season?
Probably not.
I'm going to look that up. But
I guess, but
if they haven't, like, this Rangers team is completely different from what we're normally used to seeing, right? Like, they were good defensively for all that time. I mean, who knows? That maybe trading Jacob Trouba wasn't the smartest idea, but yeah, no, they haven't played this season. It doesn't look like so. I don't mind the pivot to the over, just because we're seeing a completely different team. And if anybody is going to score 3 on Blackwood, it could be the Rangers.
Yeah, and I mean, they got 3 against New Jersey, 2 against Vegas, which those are 2 stingier teams. But
yeah,
before that, 4 against Dallas, 6 against Chicago, 4 against Washington. So they have been scoring. I don't know if maybe it's drying up now since the last 2 games have been a little bit lower scoring, but I don't know. I just see a ton of value on a guy like Fox for a point. Top power play, tons of minutes. Just since Trouba's gone, it's like even more minutes. I feel like
averaging 24.6 minutes per game.
Not
That's
more
wild.
necessarily, but
it's still a lot. He's still almost out there for half the game.
And his shot volume did pick up initially, but it's kind of dropped off too. So,
just for looking at power play purposes here, head over to moneypuck.com. Cale Makar leads the way with 72 shot attempts and 30 shots. Rantanen actually has more shot attempts than McKinnon, which I thought was kind of surprising, but they have the same amount of shots. So if we just pull it over to props.cash here, then we can take a look.
Makar's recent form is something. Yeah, Rantanen looks good.
Jeez. What the heck happened?
It's because he's trying to get his 100th career goal. He's gripping the stick.
Yeah.
He had 7 attempts last game, none on net. I don't know how you do that. That's the Jordan Kyrou. So
Yeah,
I mean, do we go to him?
I mean, that would make sense if we're backing him. The only thing is, Rangers are great target for centers and wingers, but middle of the pack against defensemen, they allow 8.1 per game. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's Cale Makar. Like, he could always go off for shots. I mean, he did have 7 attempts last game, so I wouldn't necessarily tell you not to bet it. But I don't love the price of -154. You could use it as a parlay piece, though, since he is taking the second most shots. He does have the better matchup than Cale Makar, playing on the wing, and he has that better history, clearing 7 of his last 8 games. And his attempts are pretty good. He's only had 1 game under 6 attempts. So I don't mind Rantanen. But other than that, I'm not going to have too much on this game. I didn't mean to talk you out of the over. Because, I mean, if you got a feeling it's good.
This card's big enough. This card's big enough. I don't need to add anything that's even a little bit fringe. I do like that over. I do like that over 2.5 on Rantanen, though. I think what you do is you parlay it with like McKinnon 1 point or like somebody something.
Rantanen 1 point.
Yeah, or that. Yeah. So.
I love doing those point parlay or those like player parlays where you take his shots and his point, just because like -154 for Rantanen, it's like just over the edge of unplayable. But if you get his point's going to be like -300. But more likely than not, he's going to get a point, and so that'll just help you bring it down a little bit.
Yep.
So then your shots are playable because if you look at this, like last 10, he's got points in 8 of his last 10, and he's only gone once this season where he's gone 2 games without a point. So
yeah, and they're coming off being shut out by Winnipeg, so they're going to be pissed.
Exactly. So I like that. If you go Rantanen point and his shots, I'll just quickly tally that up and see what number we get.
Yeah, because you don't need to go crazy. If somebody's at -154, you could get a -200, -300 to parlay with it. It's just going to be enough to bring you down to -120, -130.
Exactly.
You don't have to go crazy.
On Bet365, his shots are -155. If he had his point, brings you all the way to -105. So just under the plus money. I usually like to get the plus money if I'm doing that kind of parlay, but you can always shop around because since it's so close, you'll probably get that plus money somewhere else.
Yeah, I like it.
I am ready to move on.
Yep.
It looks like this is our last game of the day. We've got the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Utah Hockey Club, aka Yeti. Just in terms of, I guess he's got the last 10 here. Montreal's 7-2-1 in the last 10 games. Utah's been struggling, 2-6-2. Just looking at this, look at this PPOA. Montreal's allowing the most. Utah's allowing the second most. So those power play guys is who I'm really going to be targeting. Centers are good to target for Montreal, so maybe a Suzuki. And then wingers for Utah, maybe some Clayton Keller since Dylan Gunther's out. Taking it over here to the head-to-head sheet. Both teams are not playing in their preferred location. Montreal's 9-11-1 over their on the road this season, whereas Utah really bad at home, 6-9-4. As we mentioned, 2-6-2 in their last 10 for Utah. Montreal's playing a lot better hockey. They all like their loss right there is against the Stars, and that was a really good game. It went to overtime. And I think they would have been up to 6 or 7 straight wins had they won that game. So they're just rocking and rolling right now. They've won 3 of the last 4 historically against the Coyotes Hockey Club, whatever. So yeah, I'm going to pull it over here. Do you have anything that sticks out to you initially?
First one on the Utah side, because I'm not going to be very heavily invested on Utah in general here. I actually grabbed that Montreal money line, like I said earlier, at plus 135. But if I'm going to take a Utah prop, it's going to be Sergachev point. So he's another, believe it or not, if you remember way back, he is a former Hab. He was traded in that Drouin trade many, many moons ago. But yeah, him for a point. History is damn good. Points in 5 straight. Minus 128 feels good. If you want to get real saucy, you could go to power play point as well. That's plus 235. The majority of them have been on the power play, and even his recent form hasn't been too different between his points and power play points. So if you want to get a little more value, I don't mind doing that. Or maybe you break up your unit and do like a 0.75 on his point and a quarter unit on his power play point. I will sprinkle his goal as well. He actually scored the overtime winner when these two teams went to overtime earlier this season. So I was mad I didn't have it last game, and of course he got it. So not making that mistake twice.
Yeah,
especially
good
for
call.
a defenseman goal score prop, which is always at like the plus 600 range.
Mm-hmm. That's a good call. I have one, and it's just if you watch the Habs, like their power play's been clicking ever since Laine's been in the lineup because they just feed him. They just continue to feed him one-timers from his office, and I mean he's been scoring, or should I say Ovi's office? You get a nice plus 115 number here. The only bad thing is Utah's only allowing the 29th most shots to wingers, 9.3 per game, but it's the power play opportunities. They just continue to feed Laine in that spot. I just want to look here. He's not going to lead the team in power play shot attempts or shots on goal per game, or total, but he mightn't per game.
Yeah, you had to look per game because he missed so much time.
Yeah, 1.6 shots per game on the power play.
Yep.
2.2 attempts. So when he's in the lineup, he's firing on the power play. That's and you're getting it at plus money. I really like that. I know shots are kind of dead, but that's just what I'm playing for sure.
The price is right for sure.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. Did they play this year? No, they did not. Laine didn't play.
Yeah, he wasn't in that game earlier this year. I don't mind looking at Hudson on the power play either for power play point. That's back at plus 300 range. He's kind of the facilitator as much as Laine is the shooter, Hudson's the facilitator. Don't mind taking it just straight point power prop either, but given what you said about this team being a team that gives up a ton of penalties, and like I said, I like Montreal here to score some goals. So I don't mind doing the same thing. Grab his point prop mainly and then sprinkle his power play point.
Yep. I like that. And I just picked him up in my fantasy league. I don't know why he was on the waiver wire, but he was. And it's a points league. So picked him up. So that means he's getting the Tyson's Tip Top Team boost. I haven't come up with a clever name yet. for my team name in fantasy hockey, so I just got the generic Yahoo one. But it's coming. It's coming. So for this one, we like the Habs money line, line A shots, Sergachev point, power play point, goal, and some Lane Hudson action as well. Is there anything else?
No, I think that's all for this one.
Right on. All right. Well, that concludes anything. Does anybody have any questions before we head out?
Shot Prop says to change your name.
So what? Give me a team name and I'll change it. I just picked up Hudson, so Hut Daddy? No, I'm just kidding.
Hudson's Heroes.
Nice. I like that. I mean, I've got Crosby, McKinnon, Bratt, Timo Meyer, Jason Robertson. I got some options. Matt Boldy.
That sounds like a pretty beast team right there.
Yeah, friggin' 6-6. Buddy put up 360 points against me last week. That's
always how it works, man. What do you? Come on,
I know.
You know better.
I have the second most points for him, 7-7. Unbelievable. Anyway, nobody cares about my fantasy hockey team. Franco, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Usually I'm the one on Expected Bets 4, so it's nice to repay the favor and get you back on our show here. Where can the people find your work?
I'm on Twitter at Franco the Banker. I created an Instagram. I'm not super active there, but maybe someday I will be. Same handle there. And check out our show, Expected Bets 4. Typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, although sometimes it's a little spotty given our life that gets in the way. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. This was awesome. Getting through the slate was a monster, but now I feel like I have plenty of time now to lock in these thousands of bets before 7 o'clock hits. So I'm ready now, man. I'm excited.
For sure. Like it's a massive card, I think, but there's a lot of good spots today. So loving the slate. Thanks for joining. You can find all my work at Spit and Picklets on Twitter, X, Blue Sky. I'm not even active on Blue Sky, but follow me there too. All my plays in the Cook the Books Discord. You can find all Ray's plays at Firefighter Bets on Twitter. He's in the Only Parlays. Check his link tree. Got to check it. He finally said it. Shotprops.com for shot props for all of his awesome work. And we will be back on Thursday with another special guest. Not Franco, I know. Booked somebody else this time, but hopefully we'll get Franco back again soon. Thank you guys so much for joining, and good luck on all your bets today. See you next Thursday. I don't know how to end this. We're not the host, so
it should be top right. Oh wait, do you not have access to the thing?
No, it's Shaw Props' thing, but maybe Shaw Props.